Hey guys, Dan here for Dan Reviews It with special guest critic Melissa.
Hi guys.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
We've been, no problem. We've been trying to work on a way to get you on the show, and you are a huge Roseanne fan.
Huge fan. Watched so many reruns last summer. And was really excited.
And we're hooked on the new ones.
Absolutely. Watched all 10. Night they came, practically night they came out. Maybe the next day if I had to.
Pretty close though, because we usually would talk Wednesday and you had seen it. So I decided to bring you along for the dreaded season 9 of Roseanne. We have. I was about to do a podcast about season 9 when the whole S hit the fan and
so disappointing. By the way,
yeah, very disappointing.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with the Connors.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because you know what? A couple things I'm going to say are that, you know what? I think we're going to be left with a lot of the standout performers.
Yeah, I mean, Goodman, I know,
absolutely
is always one
Gilbert,
of your favorites. Gilbert, Metcalf, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, they could do just a show with the three of them, and I'd watch. Doesn't really
yeah,
matter
you could keep Fishman and Goranson out of it.
Yeah.
But I know, a lot of you guys watching have already seen my review, or my anticipation review, I guess, of the Connors. So yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
To say the least. But let's talk about season 9.
Oh my.
What I call the worst of the worst. It's
I will say.
It's so bad, yes.
So, I agree with you. Mm-hmm. Worst season, terrible.
Yes.
Like, they should have just stopped after.
They really should, yeah.
Like, they could have wrapped it up.
Should have.
Upon rewatch.
Okay.
I didn't hate it as much as I remembered hating it. And there were a couple episodes that I remembered really being like, that was terrible, that I could stomach.
And that was okay.
On second time around.
I'll be honest, me too. I thought I was going to hate every single episode. And there's only really a few that I even remembered that well. I remembered the one with Jim Varney as the prince.
And I didn't remember that one that well.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that he was recurring.
Just because I thought he was funny.
I
actually forgot that he was recurring. I thought he was just in the one. He's in like 3 or something.
Yeah, and he actually had a couple, like, funny moments. I kind of liked him and he does a little few voices, which, I mean, it's
see, I like him. Right, that's why I remember him.
Back.
And I remember, like, the Rambo on the train episode, which we'll talk about. I remember the Absolutely Fabulous episode, which we'll talk about. But most of what I remember is all the horrible lottery stuff. And I kind of forgot the few, like, sentimental episodes with Darlene's baby.
Yes.
And that kind of stuff. Like, I knew that happened, but I sort of forgot
the details.
Yeah, and I forgot where it fell in line.
Like you said, emotional.
Yeah.
So, no, absolutely. I think the problem with this season is anytime it departs from the Lamford everyday, becomes this fantastical sort of other world, and you'll notice most of that time that happens, that's when John Goodman's gone.
Yeah.
And many times
makes sense.
Sarah Gilbert's also
right, I was going to say, a lot of the people aren't even in it.
They're not.
Like, I think the one on the train, is Mark, Roseanne, I don't even think Becky's in it. Either Becky.
Why is Mark by himself?
I don't know.
So often.
I remember thinking, I remember thinking, why is Mark by himself? So
very bizarre.
Yeah, same. Like, right, Gilbert isn't in a lot of them. Goodman is gone half the season easily. Yeah. And for good on him for getting out while the getting was good. But like I sort of remembered hating the whole season, and I didn't.
No, I didn't. I think
However,
it could have been, as you said. I watched one of your videos just this week, and you said only had enough footage for 13 episodes of something.
Yes.
I really feel like that's what happened with this season.
Yes.
They could have had a real nice
could have had about half a
season,
right?
And it would have gone out on this high note instead of being, the classic jump the shark.
Yeah,
really happened.
And what's funny is, and I've said this, I think on a few different season reviews, when there's like a huge fantasy episode or fantastical, Roseanne has always been at its best when it's grounded in reality and in Lanford and, you know, money problems and marriage problems. It's like, this is just so off the rails ridiculous.
Yes, I agree.
So, you know, as I usually do, I do, you know, the good and the bad and then kind of go over notes along the way.
All right.
So for the good, my highest grades are B pluses for the whole season.
Okay.
Which I was actually surprised I had any there. There's 2 B pluses and a B and 2 B minuses. Everything else is C or worse.
Okay.
You didn't do specific grades for yours.
Nope, but if you...
but we can talk about the episodes.
Where your episodes are.
A Second Chance and The Miracle are my 2 B pluses. Those are the Darlene giving birth episodes, basically. The kid is sick, born premature, very small, incubator, all of that.
Yes.
So hospital stuff. The Goodman Galecki moment, you know, is really, really nice. I forget which of those 2 episodes that's in.
I want to say it was probably... It wasn't The Second Chance, because they really... The Second Chance, you really just see the first half of the episode.
Miracle, maybe.
Yeah, it's got to be... I think it's The Miracle.
Okay.
And that's really the one that's got most of the emotional... hard hitting. I wasn't able, due to technical difficulties.
Yeah, for some reason my disc 3 didn't work in your player.
Yeah,
I think it knew. It was like,
Well, and who knows? It might have been too much because it was, you know, a lot of. But they did have this sort of separate, from what I do remember and what I sort of read, separate. You know, the females coming together and doing their version,
and then the
males,
which I like.
And I feel like that makes it one of the. I would agree. I would definitely one of the higher episodes.
Yeah, I really. Both of those I think are good. And then just sort of the beginning of the season is a couple of good ones. Honor Thy Mother is one of the Dan Mom episodes that was good. That's episode, 4 or 5? You wrote them down by number.
Yeah. So, I wrote boring.
Oh, you didn't like that one?
So they discuss going to a spa, and then he talked. I wrote that. But you know what? Now that you're talking about it, I like his whole. I think that Dan's really strong.
Yeah,
I think
the whole arc with
making
the mom.
sense. I really wish they hadn't changed from the season 1 mom to the season 9 mom. Like the whole, it was
very different.
Changing actresses, but
I actually forgot that season 1 mom even existed until I rewatched season 1, and I was like, oh yeah, we saw Dan's mom way back when.
Yeah, and she was tarted up and kind of, you know, like just a real different kind of person to Debbie Reynolds, little old lady.
Right.
And so on. She goes, which is fine. I mean, she's supposed to be bipolar. I mean, I get what they're doing, but I felt like somebody else could have played the role. And
then the other ones that were okay was the first 2 of the season. Call Waiting. Enough with the stupid fantasy sequences. It was another.
It was the 60s. We went 60s.
Yes,
now.
this time it was that girl and
I wrote them.
Bewitched or Genie, one of those. I think it was Genie.
And Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary Tyler Moore, like
that show.
Oh right, yeah, he played Lou Grant in that one.
And then Lou Grant, like what's his real name?
Ed Asner.
Yes, came and
oh, that's right,
cameo.
That's right.
I thought that was a nice cameo. I think actually in that, if we could talk really briefly about that episode, I think that whole episode. You can get rid of everything except for the closing scene, pretty much. The closing scene with Laurie Metcalf playing with that ticket, and we won the lottery.
Great as
over
always.
and over and over again. I could just rewatch that. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah,
I got it circled. It's just
yeah.
It was one of my biggest laughs of the whole season.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah, because she's just so stunned.
They throw the baby down on the couch.
Yes.
She runs out of the house without the babies. Yeah. Comes back.
And then she repeats the numbers and says
Time to salt the food.
Time to salt the food.
Parking tickets.
So
4 planets to the solar system.
That was
a great line.
Yeah. And then the second episode where she comes over and they, you know, Roseanne finds out they win. Like that first episode, since we didn't quite know yet. I mean, rewatching it, obviously we do, but, you know, originally we didn't know how it was going to go downhill. Like, I thought that episode was also okay.
I gave it, I was sort of grading.
I gave it a B-. I
put a little check plus next to it as one. I thought that was good. It had some great lines. Yeah. Got Sarah Chalk back as Becky, which I don't love, but she's back. They make a couple funny jokes that I didn't catch on the first watching about Roseanne's ex-husbands.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Tom Arnold gags in it. Yeah,
and the whole and then I'm somewhat big burly bodyguard guy, and I was just oh, didn't catch that when I was a kid or whenever I saw it.
I'd forgotten about that part.
And I love that ad lib that Dan does about where they're holding the baby, and then the baby starts crying, and Dan's like, "What'd you do to him?" And Fishman doesn't know.
Oh yeah.
Nothing. But I'm like, you can see where the actors are here, and you can see where the amateurs are. But I love that line.
So those.
That was good.
That was about the 4
and I'm okay with them
5
winning
episodes.
A lot. Don't get me wrong.
Me too, actually.
I don't have a problem with them winning a lot.
Yeah. If they had sort of stayed in a motif that was true to their characters and true to the show and
plausible in any way.
So okay, those are the good ones. Did you have any other really check pluses or?
I'm just.
Ones that you really liked before we get into the horribleness?
I was surprised about how many were not that bad. I really thought after that, really, basically I'm going to give you the numbers, unfortunately.
Okay.
But, it was really 5 through 9 that were horrendous. So
yeah,
it was Prince, a spa one, the New York City one, the Martha's Vineyard one.
All those
Rainbow
are
Train.
D's, F's.
Those were the low points.
I agree because those grades are C, D, F, D, F. So my 2 F's of the entire season were the Satan Darling one, which is. I wrote that Jackie looks horrible with short blonde hair. And then F was the Roseanne on the train.
The F.
We'll talk about that by itself. But yes, I agree. Those are the worst of the season. I do have another D. The Mercer episode I thought was horrible. More fantasy sequences.
Oh yeah.
In that,
I am not. Again,
Mark and DJ were bonding, which was okay. That's the only thing that didn't give it an F. I think
made a little bit of sense later on, because DJ's getting older. He's got something to do. And Mark.
She has sex with Mr. Wellman.
Does she actually, or does that happen in fantasy? Because I think that was one where I'm not sure that I actually got to see it or not. I think
it's real.
You think it's real?
I think it actually did happen in the episode.
Because they talk about just getting squired around town, and there was nothing happening.
Right.
So there's a lot of fantasy. I think they actually did.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah.
And then the other D I gave of the season was the Arsenic and Old Mom. Towards the end.
I mean...
Why? Why are we having... First of all, it's played for laughs.
Right.
That one of our most beloved characters of all time on TV is getting murdered. And it's supposed to be a big comedy routine.
And I don't mind a comedy routine. And I don't mind
playing dark with it. But
it just seemed so out of place. It seemed like they needed another episode to fill out the contract.
Right.
It didn't seem like they needed to have it at all.
No,
They'd already done a bunch of nice emotional things. I could see something else lighter coming in at the end.
Yeah.
Not this.
But not that. So that was a bad one. Those for me were the worst. The ones you mentioned and then the couple later season that I said are the worst. So the Jim Varney coming in, that was okay. That first episode was okay. I gave it a C. It was all right. I like that he found Jackie from the video, from the I Picked the Numbers video.
Yes, I thought that was cute.
And, all that
and
was
he seemed
fine.
kind of sincere. At first I was like, what's going on? It was one of my least remembered ones out of the whole season. Because I have watched a lot of reruns. You had not watched anything.
Not seen many of these episodes in 5, 6, 7 years. You're a regular. I mean, you watch it all the time.
During the summers, usually there's something that plays for hours during the day.
Yeah.
Last summer, this was on Roseanne, for hours during the day. And I'm a teacher, so I have a lot of free time.
All the summer.
I like stuff in the background while I'm doing other things, and that's, so I was real fresh on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But not that. Not Jim Varney.
Well, no, because you skip over season 9.
I skip a lot of season 9.
Yeah.
I go watch something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for that whole, 5 episode, 6 episode arc that's just horrendous. I actually, we were talking about bad ones. I actually thought the spa probably could have been an F. It was so...
Yes, I gave that one a D. That was the one with... Was that the Absolutely Fab? No, Pampered to a Pulp. Yep, D.
Awful.
Awful. And then the Absolutely Fabulous one I gave it D. The Hoi Polloi Me Toity Toity. was just horrible.
Is that where they go to Martha's Vineyard and with the family, kind of like the one after the Rosemary's Baby one?
Yes.
Terrible.
So you're right. It's not the Absolutely Fabulous one. You're right. That one is awful too, but that's the one I think with Jackie's blonde hair was the Ab Fab one.
I actually don't hate the one where they're with that other with the other family as much. Out of all of these, like really, really
no, the
bad.
hoi polloi, right? That's the one where they're like playing like football.
They're playing,
and then like the backdrop is awful. It's so obvious it's on a set. Like
it's low budget.
With so much money in this show,
I know.
They can't like the backdrop on the train is horrible and corny.
I kind of feel like they did it on purpose.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean.
Anytime they're in a car, though, anytime there's like a big driving scene, the background is horrible. Like,
well, that's why they drive a lot at night. I thought they needed, if they're going to win a lottery, I think they needed to show them rubbing elbows with people who didn't get where they were coming from.
Yes.
But it almost seemed like they went so far, like the way they walk in their traveling clothes. I'm like, all right, I've seen their clothes. They never look quite this bad.
Right.
I would have liked just a little more grounding in reality. Just a little.
Yes. And isn't there something with like the maid? They make friends with the maid or something.
At the very end, the maid is trying to show them get the attitude and then the yelling.
That's right.
I felt like that was unnecessary.
So stupid.
Unnecessary.
Yes.
The other funny thing, which I didn't realize watching them reruns, but watching them all straight through, they just keep reusing the same like 5 extras.
Oh, I know.
Like I was like, this is the same person from this, and this is the same.
I guess that might be a throwback to like the 50s and 60s sitcoms because they would do that a lot. Like they would have like a stock character that would play, but usually it was like in different seasons. Like usually it wouldn't be 3 episodes out of 6
and
they
not
were
some
in.
obvious person. Like,
yes.
Like the maid also played the Jerry Springer audience member.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm glad you brought up the Jerry Springer. There's so many. Like I was already sick of the fantasy sequences. I've said this in many of my season videos, dating back to that season 2 episode where they sing the "We Love Roseanne" song, which I hate that episode.
Yeah.
It's the only one in the first 4 or 5 seasons that I even gave like a negative grade to. I think maybe there was a C in there somewhere, but like that was like such a bad episode. And that was the first of the fantasies, and it's like everyone after that has just been
there are only a couple
horrible.
Fantasies
Gilligan's Island one is stupid.
That I even remotely feel are okay, and I want to say it's more the ones that are like the Halloween one where they do the ghosts of past, present, and future. Because that's fantasy.
Yes, and I don't mind.
And I think that's okay.
Yes, if they're going to do a fantasy sequence in a Halloween episode, that at least makes a little more sense.
I didn't like the one. Wasn't you said was the 50s one? The Grateful Dead.
Well, oh my god,
that was fantasy and it was Halloween.
Well, I hated that. Okay, yes,
don't care.
You're right. I hated that.
So that's
one.
why I don't want to. I don't want to just say let's do it in Halloween because I don't want to do it all the Halloween.
Yeah, you're right. That was
you and my husband have the same Grateful Dead opinion.
Hate
so
Grateful Dead
I mean,
so much.
I know where you're going with that.
I hated the day in the Baby Jerry Garcia.
I hate that they were having a girl the whole time, and now we're having a boy.
And then they had a boy because that's I guess what happened in real life. Yeah. Also, as a quick aside, I guess. Well, I guess Laurie Metcalf will still be on the show. I was going to say, we never did find anything about Andy in the new series. And
Somebody had said something about on a fishing trip with Jerry.
Oh,
I knew say that?
I knew the Jerry part. No, I don't think Andy was mentioned at all. In fact, somebody even commented on my YouTube channel about it, and I was like, yeah, I read he was going to be mentioned, and then they never did. So, Jerry they mentioned, but Andy they did not. But Metcalf is still in it, so maybe they'll do something with him. But all right, so what else did you have? Because all of these other episodes I have as like C's, C minuses. They're not the worst of the worst, not the best.
They were all I think in another season they would have just been fine C's also. Like I don't think that because they're in this season you've rated them any higher, honestly, or lower than they would have been. Because I kind of the Thanksgiving one with the coming out of Bev.
Oh, I was just about to say that. Yeah, Bev being a lesbian. I didn't like it. It made no sense for the character.
It did not make sense, and I've marked down a lot of things that they did with like politics and weird things, like talking about my right-wing conservative Republican mother. Okay, like what we got this
when
real
did that
big
happen?
Change
big sweep
of like now, and then Bev says I don't have to be a pretend to be a closet liberal anymore, or pretend to be a liberal. I can be a. It just
didn't get
the
that.
jokes didn't make sense.
Yeah.
I do.
You like that she's a lesbian?
I don't I don't like that she's a lesbian, but with all of the talking about men over the many seasons she's done and how much she didn't like sleeping with her husband, how she felt like forced into this marriage and forced to have children and was married to this make. I mean, it made
they sowed a couple of seeds, I guess.
It wasn't. I didn't think it was so far afield that it shouldn't have been in there. But then the whole, like, so flamboyant going on with the different dancing with Leon and his husband.
Right, and then having the get-together at Leon and Fred Willard, I forget his name.
Scott.
You
said you forgot his name the other episode.
Oh, okay. And you were like, it's Scott.
Well, no, I was like, I gotta find out what his name is. I didn't think it was Fred Willard. It's not Fred. That's somebody else.
That's, who I liked for a little bit. Like, that didn't make sense. Like, just, a lot of it just did not...
But I liked that they did a Thanksgiving episode that was back in reality. I liked the Christmas episode.
Yeah, Christmas episode was okay.
Enough, that had some decent moments. The mortgage burning, and then you got that downfall of Dan, and I want to talk about that with you at some point.
Yes, we can definitely talk about that. I don't have many other specific notes really.
And I have basically that Christmas into the next episode.
Okay.
I think there's a real
Home for the Holidays. Goodman Returns. Yeah, that was an okay episode.
I originally, before I had watched, I had originally said to you about how I really liked Heather Matarazzo, and then watching it, I was like, I can see how she was a real green actress at this point.
Wait, which one? Who is she?
That's DJ's girlfriend.
Oh, God!
I actually thought that I had liked her, then on rewatch, I was like, I am not feeling it like I thought I was.
And Fishman's acting just is getting worse by the day.
And it was
the reaction to the pregnancy video, where he acts like he's gonna throw up. You didn't see that?
No, I did see that. I did see that.
Right, disc 3. That is
say,
way over the top.
Can you fill the birth? Yeah.
Horrible acting.
That whole thing.
The plot with him and the girl was just. It was all right, but I'm glad he found somebody. I'm glad he had
I thought that was kind of cute.
Obviously
gave him stuff to do.
So that was good.
All right. Well, let's get off of the boring people.
Okay, let's talk about Goodman.
All right. So I had a real problem being a Dan Connor. Let's get off of not even John Goodman. Okay. Being Dan Connor super fan, I feel. The older I get, the more I love this guy.
Okay. Yeah. Great dad.
I felt like it was the downfall of Dan just made me hurt so much. And I guess he didn't actually do anything, so maybe this is a little bit of, even though someone's good, you can kind of still have these feelings, and he was away from his wife, but I kind of had a problem with it.
No, I understand why. I mean, and we've had similar episodes like this, the Vicki Lawrence return as the ex-girlfriend from high school, there's been shades of wanting maybe to stray a little bit, but never acting on it. But then this was this was an emotional relationship. This is an emotional cheat.
Yes, which I didn't care for that from Dan.
Yeah, I didn't care for him either.
And I thought that whole you hear him on the phone, and then the next episode, that scene with Lori and John, that dramatic scene where she
in the kitchen.
I thought that was one of the top scenes.
One of the top scenes of the season. Absolutely.
Yeah. Such strong acting.
Well, because there were no dud actors in there. Roseanne wasn't doing her lottery bit in there.
No.
It was. I
think you can really see how the Connors can probably hold its own.
That's for sure.
No, I was watching. I was like, you know what?
That is for sure.
I will watch more of this TV for sure.
Yeah, because that was a great scene, and they're the two pro actors. Roseanne obviously did well on the show, but she came from the world of stand-up.
Yes.
And then, the kids were just, even though Sarah Gilbert is a good actress now,
and she came from an acting family.
That's true. Yeah, Melissa Gilbert, of course.
So, those people tend to be just a little bit, more
Goodman and Metcalf are the true pro actors, you can see why.
Acting, everything.
Yes. So I agree with that. But I don't like what they did to his character for sure.
That was a big problem for me. What else did you want to hit?
That's really all. That's really the only thing.
It was a lot of highlights.
I talked about. I mean, I guess the one thing we didn't do, I guess just because we were talking in general about how awful the season was, is usually with the season reviews at the beginning I say like what everybody's up to this season, but really most of them, other than Dan cheating, it's just all lottery, and then some Darlene stuff, Darlene Child, which was good, but yeah, like other than that, what's everybody up to? Winning the lottery.
And a lot of nothing.
Or a lot of nothing.
Just being absent, like Becky, who really didn't
where
need
did
to
she
be
go?
there at all.
And then they're hanging with Mark a lot.
A lot of Mark.
Which, I get it. He's part of the family, son-in-law, but, like, where was Becky? And she wasn't even mentioned. It wasn't like, oh, Becky had
Becky's working, or Becky's in school because we are going to pay for her college. Whatever. Just Becky's gone.
She just didn't appear.
Is this opener? Because the opener, is this the first one with the lyrics, or was it season 8?
Oh, yes, I actually did write that down. The John Popper from Blues Traveler, who we saw in like Dan's
That's
band.
an episode I've only seen like once or twice.
Not that good of an
weird.
Episode. It's okay.
I just like Blues Traveler.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny when Jackie thought the one song was about her. Like that was a good bit, but Popper's not much of an actor. No. Yes, this is the first one with the lyrics. They had their friend Popper come in and do the lyrics. They did the morphing again of the faces. This time it was in picture frames.
I agree. I don't hate the morphing.
Morphing's fine.
If you're going to change your whole, circle table.
What's weird, though, about the morphing, and I don't think I mentioned this in the Season 8 review, was that they went between 3 and 4 morphs per person, depending on, how time. Michael Fishman got 4 morphs, and he didn't change that much he changed when he was a little kid, but, like, the last 3 morphs were basically just, like, 11, 12, and 13. It's like you look the same.
Part of your problem is you only have 3. You don't have that much to work with Sarah Chalk.
No, the Sarah Chalk was fine, and I thought that was funny when they morphed Lacey into Sarah and back into Lacey. But, like, Jackie changed a lot. I think they could have morphed her maybe once or twice more.
That's true. She did change a lot. So many hairstyles.
Many hairstyles, many jobs.
But I didn't mind the lyrics, though, I will say.
Nah, I was fine with them. And I'm a Blues Traveler fan as well, so that's fine with me. I just wish it wasn't for a wholly subpar season.
No. I could do without season 9.
I think, and I said it, I think it was in the season 8 review, this was the worst season of a good show ever. I mean, there's been some declines. You mentioned Jumping the Shark. I think every show at some point,
for the most part, favorite
has
show
a Jump the Shark moment.
Ever. MASH. There's only one episode of that entire show that I can't watch.
Is that right?
Actually, it's a fantasy episode, so it's called Dreams. Don't watch it, folks.
Yeah, I don't mind.
You know what I mean?
If you've got a premise like an Ally McBeal, where fantasy is the name of the game,
that's
okay.
Different. That was the show. This is not the show.
Or even like Scrubs, like if you establish Glee, if you establish fantasy motifs from the beginning, okay, but like it would be like I'm trying to okay, there's my Parenthood series. It would be like a Parenthood. All of a sudden, like had some
musical episode,
right? Like Dak Shepard. It's like and like musical episodes. Okay, like I don't mind if like Buffy did a big musical episode that was a big hit. Buffy is obviously a show that is steeped in fantasy. It's about slaying vampires. Okay, do a musical episode.
That's probably why their musical episode did better than the Grey's Anatomy one.
Why was there a musical Grey's? I can't.
Because Sarah Ramirez
you love Grey's so much.
Opera.
Oh, right. God.
We've detracted
this is the
so
rabbit
far
hole now. But the point is,
Roseanne.
yes, it would be like, I just, the fantasy elements of Roseanne never worked for me. So to have almost an entire season of fantasy, it was so stupid and horrible.
And again, when it was, and we didn't really talk about, it is a whole season of fantasy.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. It's all being written down.
Oh, that's right. Well, as it turns out, in the real... You're right. We didn't really talk about the series finale, which, by the way, we should talk about that quick. I had never seen until I watched it for this show.
Oh, I've seen it multiple times.
When it was first on... I was in college when season 9 was on anyway, so I didn't watch... And we didn't have TVs in the dorms at the time and whatever, so...
You poor old Joe.
I know, I'm so old. So I watched some episodes. I remember watching the Rambo episode live, and I was like, this is season 9. Like, I can't do this.
This is
like,
the same
this is
show.
horrible.
On the right channel.
Yeah, like, I hadn't watched it in weeks. I knew they won the lottery, but then, like, that was the next one I saw. So I didn't watch it just because I wasn't watching it much at the time. But then as it went on, like, in syndication, I was like, you know what? I kind of don't want to watch the end because I kind of didn't want Roseanne to end. Like, I thought, if I watched it, you know.
Now it's over.
Yeah, now it's over. And actually, when I was in college, one of the shows that ended that I did watch was Married with Children. Which,
I actually don't know how that ends.
Stupid. It doesn't end anything spectacular because they didn't know they were getting canceled. It was just a regular episode. But I watched it in the TV lounge with some of my friends in college, and I actually like went and in solitude for a couple minutes, and I like cried a little bit because I was like, that was. I mean, I had been watching that for literally 11 years. I mean, that was the first show, one of the first shows I watched that was like, my parents didn't want me to watch, you know, that kind of thing.
Roseanne was like that for me. We were not supposed to be watching.
Oh, yeah. Some houses were like that.
Yeah. My mom got over it.
Yeah.
She didn't get over The Simpsons, though.
Yeah, Simpsons was another one. I mean, my parents kind of got on board with that, but yeah, Married with Children we weren't allowed to watch. So it was like me and my brothers, like it was our show. So like I cried a little bit at the end of that. So I didn't want to watch the end of Roseanne for the same reason. Like I grew up with it, like, and then I had heard years later like how it ended, and like everybody's, you know, this person's married to this person instead, and like. And I was like, well, that sounds horrible.
I don't really feel like it worked necessarily.
No, so I
did plant a few seeds that season before about the sisters with the boyfriends and Becky with the David
thing,
I mean, I guess I see that a little bit. Mark is too stupid for... Well, now that they've made Mark stupid.
Oh my God, now
you know how
dumbing down.
2 Marks. Right. There's Bad Boy Mark and Stupid Mark.
Right.
Now that he's Stupid Mark, I don't see Darlene with Mark at all.
Yeah, the dumbing down of Mark...
doesn't do it for me.
Didn't jive with Darlene at all.
I could see Darlene with Bad Boy Mark a little more.
Yes.
So
especially to be defiant
to
Roseanne and Dan. Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, that one we didn't really even talk about the finale, but not good. One of the worst finales I've seen, to be honest.
I will rewatch it, and I do not. I've warmed up to it because you've only seen it now the one time.
Yeah,
I have seen it probably 5 times.
Okay,
just over the years, because you know that was what 90. Are we getting in 95? 98. Okay,
actually, I think 97 or 98.
Okay,
yeah.
So I was actually in middle school, so I probably may have seen it not live, but around the same time, pretty quickly. So definitely, you know, while I was in high school or something. And I'm okay with it. There are some things they change I'm okay with. There's some things that I feel like are believable, like Dan being dead.
Yeah.
Believable. And
Jackie being a lesbian makes more sense to me than Bev.
Yes. Why did she?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why did we do that?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense then with all of the things that went on, honestly, with Bev over the years. With the when are you going to find a man?
Yes.
I'm a cop.
Yes.
I'm
it would
a truck
make
driver.
more sense.
Not
for
to be
Jackie
stereotypical because I'm not, but it just they had all of these things that
seeds.
At least like your character. Okay.
Right.
I see that. So I don't know. It was a big downer though. It was very.
Oh yeah.
It's the end. Like you're
For
bawling.
sure.
That and the baby episode.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of crying in this season.
I did not cry.
If you want to cry,
maybe a little bit during the Darlene baby stuff. Maybe a little bit.
Because
Darlene's always been my favorite. We know that.
Yeah.
So overall, I give the season a D+. It is so horrible. If it wasn't for those couple of Darlene episodes, I mean, it would be probably even lower than that. Like, it's just so bad.
I would say if you took out those 6 episodes that I have in the middle, I'd go into the C range with this episode.
I would agree.
With this season.
I would agree.
D+ I think is pretty fair if you're going to have to look at the whole package. I was surprised, though, since I watched almost all of them in 2 days.
Yeah. I watched them, I think, in 3 or 4. Like, it didn't take long for me.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to get... It was like ripping the Band-Aid off. Like, I just wanted to get it done with.
But it wasn't, it wasn't as, it definitely not as excruciating as I thought, so I almost would go C- because I enjoyed enough of it throughout, and even though I know you don't like the final episode, I feel like they still end on a believable note.
It's just so disappointing.
It is disappointing.
Overall.
And it's almost a little bit cheap. It's like, it was all a dream. It was all any of those things. It's kind of, So,
Well,
I
that
feel
is
like
sad.
we talked
sad
a long
ending
time,
to
but it's the final
the
season,
famous Roseanne
so
reviews on my channel.
Not really final season.
No, we'll come back with the Connors. I'll definitely do a review of the first episode. I don't know if I'll do an episode by episode like I did with season 10. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
The more you like it,
yeah,
more
that is true. Yeah, I love it when you guys comment, so please keep commenting. Thank you, Melissa, for joining.
Don't make me be the only person out there commenting.
Hopefully you had a good time.
I feel like such a fangirl.
And more. I keep getting subscribers. I kept getting subscribers even when I wasn't putting videos up. So like that's great news. So I love hearing that. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. I hope you had fun. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.